What's up, everybody? This is our college basketball big game breakdown for Tuesday, March 10th. I'd call it Super Tuesday, but we have reached conference championship week. My name is Logan. With me in the studio, Nick Von Brick.
Yo.
We're going to dive into the board, give you our best bets, try to find some winners. Last time out for me, I was solo in the studio. You had stuff that you had to take care of. I gave out 4 plays. We went 2-2. Got a little fortunate there with the Arkansas-Mizzou over after getting some tough luck with Acuff being announced out a couple hours after we posted our plays. But we got to the window there. BYU got us to the window late night. So still in the midst of a very good stretch. I expected some regression, like I said. We were on that 23-7 run. It was 25-9. We just kind of keep going 500 at this point. So we got to try to find more winners than losers here coming up. But still, it's been a very profitable season. You have 2 plays?
Yep.
I have 2 as well. I was considering a third, but I'm thinking I'm going to scratch it. Do not sleep on conference championship week. Nothing's better than March Madness, the big tournament, but this is a very, very close second. You're going to see some incredible basketball over this coming week. Like I said, the power conferences tip off for Tuesday. I'm excited. I'm ready to go. We've already got our plans to go to the casino. We're going to be camping out on Saturday. Got our spots reserved, front row in front of the TVs. We'll be drinking buckets of cheap beer, eating chicken wings, and trying to make a fortune. So we'll dive into it. We got games tipping off at 11:30 in the morning, but my first one is going to be at 2 p.m. You've got Utah taking on Cincinnati in the Big 12 tournament first round. First meeting was a 4-point win, a game in which Cincinnati got the 4-point win, a game in which they shot 27% from the three-point line. They lost the rebound battle 40-30. With that being said, Cincinnati has played significantly better since we've hit the month of February. They've got wins over UCF, beat them by 20, a win over Kansas, a win over BYU. They gave Texas Tech a game there down to the wire. So it looked like since that bad loss to West Virginia, like I kept mentioning, we were on the wrong side of. Wes Miller was on the radio crying, talking about he's failed them and all of that. I think they're 6-1 since. They've been on a heater and have given themselves a legitimate chance to get into the tournament. The problem for Cincinnati is that I would say that they're on the bubble, but they're probably now on the outside looking in. A bad loss on the road to TCU, 10-point loss, a game in which that you really needed to kind of help your cause. So if I'm Cincinnati, if I'm Wes Miller, I'm telling the guys we gotta win out if we're gonna make the postseason. And maybe you don't, but if you put together some good showings, maybe you find your way in on the bubble. In those wins against Kansas and BYU, they held them both to 68 points. Cincinnati plays really solid defense, 12th in the nation in adjusted efficiency. I think we see a much better performance in the rematch from Cincinnati. I think, obviously, it's a neutral site game, so you expect some shooting woes. Utah defensively is really bad, and they're small. They're number 280 in the nation in average two-point field goal distance. They're number 303 in two-point field goal percentage, allowing 54.8%. I think it's a good matchup for Mustafa Cham down low, and also Baba Miller, who's got great size for his position. So if you can rely on anything, I feel like you can rely on the Cincinnati defense on a neutral site. If they're shooting woes, edge to Cincinnati. And with the size that Cincinnati has down low, Mustafa Cham's a fantastic player. He might be a lottery pick in the NBA draft. So I'm going to lay 10.5 points with Cincinnati and hope to see the Bearcats get back to what they were doing there before dropping the game to TCU. And that will be my first play for Tuesday, Cincinnati minus 10.5. Where are you going with your first one?
I'm going to go to the Northeast Conference Tournament Final. Mercyhurst at Long Island. It's a home game for Long Island. Long Island, 6.5-point favorites. The point total's 137.5. Just looking at the way Mercyhurst played the last month of the season, they didn't lose a game by more than one possession since January 31st. They've played Long Island twice this season. They split the regular season series 1-1. Long Island won the first game at home 60-58, and then Mercyhurst won the second game 91-83. Long Island didn't shoot the ball particularly well from three in both games. And then in the Northeast Conference tournament, Long Island's allowed both of their opponents to get to the foul line 20-plus times. Mercyhurst is shooting 78.6% from the free throw line in conference play. The interesting thing here is Long Island's already secured their spot in the NCAA tournament. Mercyhurst isn't eligible. We'll still take Mercyhurst plus 6.5 here. I just think it's too many points for a team that played Long Island by one possession and then beat them by 8 in the second matchup. So we'll take Mercyhurst.
Yeah, I was going to add that in. I didn't know if you knew that, but you have to imagine the motivation factor would be on Mercyhurst's side, knowing that this is win or lose. This is your final game of the year. Long Island, you're already in, no matter what happens. So doesn't mean you want to come out and not give a shit or play bad basketball, but just another little addition into, if you already like Mercyhurst, that's not going to make you dislike it. All right, my second and final play for Tuesday. Still, I'm going with the two plays, but I plan on having at least one play for every day this week. So we're about to crank up the volume here, and we're gonna send some shots in the tournament as well. But second and final play, Kansas State BYU in the Big 12 tournament first round. We were on BYU Saturday versus Texas Tech. It was a brutal first half defensively, and I've said that like a broken record this year, that BYU struggles to guard the perimeter. It almost seems like they're lazy at times, where they just don't really care to do it. And that's what it looked like in that first half against Texas Tech. You pair that with the fact that Texas Tech couldn't miss a goddamn shot. They shot 60%, over 60% from the three-point line in the first half. I was pulling my hair out because BYU was still in the game. Second half, though, they made some serious adjustments and started defending the three-point line, like I was hoping to see to start the game, and really put it was a struggle for Texas Tech to score in that second half. BYU ran away with the game. I'm going to go with BYU here, and we're going to lay 10 points. Kansas State, they just don't catch me as a team that's going to do much of anything in postseason play. Jerome Tang with the firing and the way that whole series of events played out was very odd. I don't know that they are going to have enough in the tank to do much in postseason. I think BYU was not playing good basketball. You responded with a great win at the perfect time against Texas Tech heading into postseason play. I'm going to still ride with the Cougars here, and I'm going to lay 10 points with BYU. I think Rob Wright is the perfect complement to A.J. Dibbanza. He does not get enough credit. His ability to bully his way to the rim against guards, he's got great size for his position, very tough to guard, great at the free throw line. I'm hoping we see a BYU bounce back spot here, or not bounce back, but continue after the bounce back spot with Texas Tech. I think Kansas State, all the scoring's led from the guard position. Guard the perimeter like you did against Texas Tech in that second half. I don't think motivation will be much of an issue here. I'm going to lay 10 points with the Cougars in the first round of the Big 12 Big 12 tournament. Where are you going with your final one?
Going to the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference Final. Siena versus Merrimack. Merrimack's 3.5-point favorites. The point total's low, 127.5. It's another grudge match. Merrimack won both matchups, both of them close, 63-59 on the road and 79-72 in overtime at home. It really comes down to the way both of these teams finished the regular season. Siena lost 4 of their last 7, while Merrimack won 6 of their last 7. Both offenses are good. They're the number 1 and number 2 rated offenses in efficiency during conference play. What really separates these teams is the defense. Merrimack's defense is the best defense in the Atlantic Athletic Conference. They defend the basket well, they defend the perimeter well, and they force turnovers at the highest rate in conference play. So we'll lay 3.5 with Merrimack.
All righty. There you go. That is our best bets for Tuesday. It's already confirmed we will be back in studio tomorrow night to break down college basketball, but also the golf tournament coming up, the Players. So be on the lookout for that. We've got more plays coming. Like I said, buckle up because we've made it. This is March. This is what we've been waiting for. It's going to be a grind, but there's money to be made. To recap, I am taking, I think I would just remember it, Cincinnati minus 10.5, BYU minus 10.
We're going Mercyhurst plus 6.5 and Merrimack minus 3.5.
Hit that like and subscribe button if you don't mind. It is the best way to help us out. We will see y'all soon. Good luck.